So, Mike and Jeremy from the Voice of Reason podcast are back with us today, and they're going to be talking about the conspiracies that MAGA believes. What's funny is they were telling me, hey, we're going to do a video once a week where we're going to pick a different conspiracy, and we'll just talk about how MAGA buys into it. And I was like, guys, if you fall down into that rabbit hole with MAGA, you'll have a full-time job. That's all your channel will be, because MAGA will absolutely believe anything. Part of me would just like to sit here and kind of cook some up just to see what they would buy. Like, I've literally thought about creating an alter ego and, like, putting on some sort of like mask and disguise and just seeing how far we could go with getting them to believe things. Because when they go to the extent that they believe that Democrats control the weather, then yeah, I mean, they'll damn near buy anything. That's what Mike and Jeremy's going to be talking about today, is how that they think that somehow we have wrestled the reins of the weather away from God Almighty and that we're sicking hurricanes on people. It's absolutely ridiculous. Mike and Jeremy's going to walk you through that. If you haven't already, be sure to go over to their channel, the Voice of Reason podcast, and hit that subscribe button. I've got the link tagged in this video. So yeah, Mike, Jeremy, take this one away.
So we've decided to do a weekly episode where we talk about these crazy MAGA conspiracies one by one. Well, maybe a couple at a time, but just to kind of address, using facts and something we like to call here at the show common sense. Because some of these are just outrageous. So we've gone over some in the past, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, space lasers, and
Jewish space lasers. They're the deadliest kind.
And black market baby organ sales. That was another one of hers that we talked about before, among others.
Hey, let's not forget, she used to run around chasing Sandy Hook victims or victims of one of the shootings. How bad is that? I can't remember which one. Like, she's a lunatic. She's a conspiracy theorist to her core.
Right. She's the one that believes every conspiracy, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. And we'll show you. We'll show you what we mean. But first, just to get everything rolling, and this doesn't have anything to do with the conspiracy part of it, because today we're going to be talking about like weather control, government. What people think that government controls the weather, but it goes beyond that, because they also think that chemtrails are real, and cloud seeding is also real, and the government is behind all of these things. Which is utterly insane. But, like we proved on previous episodes, some of these people will believe absolutely anything. Just to give you an example, I'm going to play Adam Mockler from the My Such Network goes out and interviews people at Trump rallies. And some of the stuff he catches, and I got to give the guy credit for a young guy like that. He's got balls for going out and doing some of the stuff. Right, but here he is, just to show you how brainwashed some of these people are. A lot of these people are. They're convinced that Vladimir Putin is a better choice. Like, if they had to choose between Kamala Harris and Vladimir Putin, who would they pick? And they're saying they would rather have Vladimir Putin, a murderous dictator, a war
they love
criminal. Trump. Well, that's true. Nothing ceases to amaze me anymore, though, these people. But here we go.
You either have to vote for Kamala or Putin. Who do you choose?
Oh, definitely Putin.
Putin.
Really? Why?
Absolutely. He's for his people. He is for his people.
Would you rather vote for VP Harris or Vladimir Putin if you had to choose?
I would actually vote for Putin if I had to, for the simple reason, if you understand Marxism and communism, you can work within it.
Yeah, Putin's values on family and on traditions and, protecting children. It almost sounds like, I'm not a Putin guy.
So you think the country would be better off under a rule like a Kim Jong-un or somebody, or Vladimir Putin?
Hey, I love Russia.
You do? Why?
Yeah, it's beautiful. The people are wonderful.
My God.
They couldn't point out Russia on a map. But
I know.
Look, I don't want to get too deep into that specific bullshit. The point is to highlight the inability of the MAGA person thing to even follow a linear thought. These people cannot connect even simple ideas together to form a complex thought, let alone having to be able to use logic and reason to understand what's actually going on in a context. Now, Donald Trump won't necessarily say it, but his inaction on stopping the bullshit and the lies regarding hurricanes
Mm-hmm.
is what allows this to just blow itself out of proportion.
Right.
We're talking about people who literally believe that the government is out to kill Donald Trump. And instead of using weather to kill Donald Trump, they're like, I'm going to piss off some farmers and maybe a couple of people with a roofing company. Like, no, stop. Use your brain. But
with the problem is we have people in the government actually spreading these conspiracies. That's what drives me nuts about this whole situation.
And gee, who's the one that we're thinking of? Marge.
Oh, Marge. Marge.
Oh, Jewish space laser Marge. This is her a few days ago, right after the hurricanes slammed into this country. Controlling the weather is a dangerous conspiracy theory, like normal people would say. And then she says back in 2009, it wasn't. Weather Warfare on the History Channel talked about controlling the weather, HARP, and steering hurricanes. Okay, great.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to, the only argument that they have is their peripheral understanding of what seeding clouds is. Is there basic technology to seed clouds in areas that don't get rainfall to try and get them to precipitate? Yes. Is it really good technology? No, otherwise we would have no drought anywhere. Okay? So, now the thing is, the way the conspiracy works is, well, they can do it, and if they can do it, they might do it. And if they might do it, they're probably doing it. No, that's not how logic works.
No, not at all. God help us.
That didn't stop MAGA. Don't worry, guys. Weather modification isn't real. It's just a coincidence that Hurricane Helen is one of the most devastating inland damage storms in history, and that hundreds of pro-Trump counties are being massively impacted during the most important election of our lifetime. Influencer Matt Wallace posted alongside video footage of flooding. The post received 11 million views. Milton looks like another man-made storm, and it looks like Trump voters are the victims. Is this really what's happening? Wrote a user on X. Biden and Harris are messing with the weather. Hurricane Milton was sent to Florida, just like the other hurricane, to wipe Florida out, which it didn't do. They know those are mostly Trump supporters who live in that state, so 85% of them won't be able to vote next month.
How?
Okay,
really?
Again, no.
Really?
You can't just create a hurricane. And do you notice a common thread through this conspiracy? Man, these storms are getting out of control. There's no way. We've never seen storms like this. How come storms are increasing intensity so quickly? Those are all valid questions. Those are all very valid questions.
They are.
Luckily, we have things called scientists.
Yes, they do exist.
And what they do is study things like weather. And they understand weather because they're really smart, and you and I and the rest of us might not be as smart as them. So we defer to them, and they have this thing called the scientific method where they test theories to prove out if they're real or not. And what they've determined is global warming is real. Climate change is real. They're literally telling you why it's happening, and you're like, that's not real. We see this stuff happening. It must be that conspiracy theory.
That's so crazy. Yeah. The earth is flat. The government controls the weather.
The favorite part of that is Marge references a show she watched in 2009 on the History Channel. For anyone who remembers the internet back in the day, aliens. This is the famous History Channel guy that once History Channel stopped talking about history and realized they could get more viewers by peddling nonsense like conspiracy theories.
Right.
That's when Marge started watching, apparently, and decided that anything I watch on the History Channel must be real because it says the word history in it.
Let's not forget that Donald Trump thought that he actually claimed that dogs or Haitian migrants were eating cats. What did he claim? He said, I heard it on the television.
I heard it on them TV. The moving pictures told me.
I saw it on that damn television.
but what then gets scary is it's not just Donald Trump's lack of turning off these rumors and putting an end to them. It's not just Marjorie Taylor Greene peddling this nonsense, because here's the thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene is an absolute moron who believes this stuff. She truly does.
God.
So her peddling it is probably more just because she's an idiot with a platform. But what's terrifying is even in places like the dying Truth Social, the echo chamber creates more idiots that are more desperate and afraid and might do really bad things. Here we have 3 examples. The Gateway Pundit, Marjorie Taylor Greene's weather manipulation claims backed by science. Must read deep dive into history of weather manipulation. Shocking facts revealed.
Oh my God. It's like
Or Derek Evans. People denying weather modification are the same ones who lined up for 8 boosters. Okay, science guy. Now here we go. The Patriot Voice. Joe Biden. Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying the federal government is literally controlling the weather. We are controlling the weather. It's beyond ridiculous. Okay, now here's the logic. Here we go, folks. Joe wouldn't be bringing attention to this if what Marjorie Taylor Greene said is not true.
What blows me away, though, is that it's more feasible to these people that the government controls the weather than that climate change is an actual thing. Because let me play this next video here. And this is from The Good Liars. They actually went out and interviewed a lady. And she talks about, she thinks that they are controlling the weather. This is absolutely crazy. I can't believe our society.
She'll tell you she has no idea what she's talking about, but she knows it.
Just feels it. That makes more sense than climate change to these people. Unbelievable.
What do you think happened with the hurricanes?
I think there was an upcoming storm, and then I think government set in with whatever it is that they do. I don't know all the specifics about it. I'm not an expert in cloud seeding or whatever it is that they use to magnify the storm to a higher degree to disturb a land that maybe wanted for lithium that Harris's husband is partaking in.
There we go.
So they made the storm stronger, so it would hit the.
With this one.
You think that Milton, they're making it stronger?
From a 2 to immediately to a 5, like instantaneously.
You're implying that the government made a hurricane stronger to hurt its own country, the United States of America?
So then she goes on to see, now you see where the little tendrils of all these conspiracy theories meet underground like an evil root system. And they feed each other, because now she's talking about how Kamala's husband, something about owns lithium and the land is lithium and the government. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know.
She's like, well, I'm not an expert. You don't believe the experts. The experts will tell you what's going on. And you're like, I don't know. I read an article once that mentioned about cloud seeding. So since I stopped reading it and I can only read at a 3rd grade level, I'm pretty sure I know more than the experts, whom I believe in, but I won't listen to. Lithium.
Right.
The fuck?
Earth 2 is a strange place.
The worst of places.
Right. Anyway, that's all we have for today's episode. If you like what we had to say, please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Share the video on other platforms. It really helps us out. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll be back again. We'll talk to you soon.
Watch out for the hurricanes.
Have a good day. Yep.